to the public. Now we've got a quorum.
Chair, I have 2 work experience girls with me today.
That's fine. I'm just
In the
waiting
public
for
gallery.
public to come in there.
Just ignoring all them emails for like, oh, thanks. See you later.
Keeping them busy.
Okay, so just to advise members and those in the public gallery that you're welcome to use mobile devices as long as they're in airplane mode and all devices are muted. You can connect to the Assembly Wi-Fi. The password details are available on the gallery rules. Okay, so it's not permitted to take any photographs or record any of the meeting. So we're going to move quickly on to agenda item 1, which is apologies, and we have apologies from the chair, Paul Frew. Have we any other apologies?
Sheehan may be along later.
Okay. No other? Okay, that's grand. Move on to item 2, matters arising. Members, just to note the updated forward work programme, which is at pages 5 and 6 in the meeting pack. And we've got other items. So on to agenda item 3, we have the SL1, the Victim Statement Regulations, Northern Ireland 2016. Members should find these at pages 8 to 19 of the meeting pack. Members, the Department proposes to make a statutory rule under the Justice Act Northern Ireland 2015 to provide for when, how and by whom the opportunity to make a victim statement and supplementary victim statement is to be afforded in cases where the Director of Public Prosecutions has the conduct of criminal proceedings. Being afforded an opportunity to make a statement applies to a victim, a bereaved family member and a parent of a young victim. So I really want to seek your views on whether you're content with the proposed statutory rule or whether you require any further information by way of writing or an oral briefing. Okay. Michaela?
No, I'm fine. Sorry.
You're fine with it?
Yeah, Chair, yeah,
Happy enough
I'm
with
fine.
it? Yes. Okay. That's grand. Moving on to 4, SL1, Proceeds of Crime Act 2002, appeals under Part 4, Amendment Order 2016. Members, these, you can find this at pages 21 to 26 of your pack. The Serious Crime Act 2015 inserted section 163A, orders for securing compliance with confiscation order, into the Proceeds of Crime Act, or POCA. POCA deals with the confiscation of criminal assets, and Part 4 deals with Northern Ireland specifically. Just to advise you, members, that the Department proposes to make a statutory rule to amend the Proceeds of Crime Act 2002, appeals under Part 4, Order 2003, to insert under Part 3 of the order the appropriate references to an appeal to the Supreme Court under Section 163(4) to 7 of POCA. Section 163B, which came into force on the 1st of June 2015, was introduced to give the prosecutor or any person affected by the order a right of appeal. So, members, I'm seeking your views on whether you're content with the proposed statutory rule or whether you require any further information.
Okay.
Up enough?
Up enough.
Okay, thank you. On to item 5, and SL1, the Court of, oh, here, that's that word again. Judicature. Find that really difficult. Judicature. The Court of Judicature Fees Amendment Order Northern Ireland 2016. Members, this is at 28 to 31 of your meeting pack. Members, the Department proposes to make a statutory rule to introduce fees to be charged to users of the services provided by the Court Funds Office with the aim of recovering the running costs of the office. Members, the current method of cost recovery from income generated by client funds held does not cover the full cost of the service, and as a result, Northern Ireland Courts and Tribunal Service has borne the cost of operating the Court Funds Office. This is a pressure to the Northern Ireland Courts and Tribunal Service budget that is no longer financially sustainable in economic climate. In May 2015, the Public Accounts Committee also published a report recommending that the Courts Funds Office establishes fair and equitable arrangements for recovering its costs from clients. The members really seeking your views on whether you're content with that proposed statutory rule or whether you require any further information.
Just to make a comment, Chair, just in relation to the consultees, around the consultation. I mean, there were 13,000 consultees, and a total of responses, 26 received. That is a very poor and very low in my opinion. Some did express concerns about the fees eroding the value of an award made in court. And I know they've set the de minimis limit of 5,000. But I mean, I have no problem with it, but it would be interesting to see just what the responses were, what the concerns were that they raised.
Okay. Well, do we want to do that in writing, or would you prefer an oral briefing?
No, we could do it in writing. Yeah.
Do it in writing, okay.
Well, we're not advised that the responses basically said people didn't want to have any money removed.
Yeah, but it would be interesting just to see what some did show support for the introduction of the charges, but I just want to know what the difference and the responses were. Right.
Okay.
But to have it in writing, that
Yes, that will be sufficient.
without, yeah.
Enough, Roy? Okay.
Approve it in the meantime, we're just waiting. I was content with the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, content with.
So you content with the rule for
Absolutely.
the time being anyway, and we'll just get the information. Okay, that's super, thank you. Okay, so on to item 6, which is the proposed statutory rule, the Mines Regulations, Northern Ireland 2016, and outcome of joint consultation. And you can find these, the papers at pages 33 to 75 of your pack. Members of the Health and Safety Executive for Northern Ireland plans to bring forward a statutory rule entitled Mines Regulations, Northern Ireland 2016, under the Health and Safety at Work Northern Ireland Order 1978. The proposed statutory rule, which will replace the existing law with a single set of modern regulations, aims to protect people working at mines in Northern Ireland by ensuring that there is a duty on the mine operator to manage and control the major hazards at mines. So members should advise you the proposed regulations contain provisions on explosives, for which the Department of Justice is a department concerned. For the proposes of making regulations under Article 17 of the 1978 Order. The regulations will be made by the Department for the Economy and the Department of Justice jointly with the Department for Economy acting as the lead department. So members, are you content with the proposed statutory rule, or do you require any further information? Content? Okay, thank you. On to agenda item 7, the EU Justice and Home Affairs Biannual Report, Summer 2016. Refer you members to pages 77 to 103 of the meeting pack. The previous Committee for Justice received biannual EU Justice and Home Affairs reports from the Department of Justice. The reports summarise the current position in relation to EU measures being dealt with by the Department, including EU priorities identified by the Committee, any known impact to Northern Ireland and the next steps. So just inform you that the Department has provided the Committee with an EU Justice and Home Affairs biannual report for summer 2016. Officials will also provide briefing to the Committee on any EU matters that arise as priority areas or other EU matters that the Committee believes warrant attention as a matter of course. Members, are you content to note the EU Justice and Home Affairs biannual report for summer 2016?
Noted.
Noted. That's great, thank you. Are you happy enough then that the Committee continues to receive these type of reports on a biannual basis?
Yeah, agreed.
Thank you. Okay, members, moving on to item 8. Northern Ireland Human Trafficking and Modern Slavery Strategy 2016-17, draft consultation. You'll find this, members, in your packet, pages 105 to 245. Members, Section 12 of Human Trafficking and Exploitation, Criminal Justice and Support for Victims Act 2015 requires the Department of Justice to produce an annual strategy on offences under Section 1 and 2 of the Act, which includes slavery, servitude and forced or compulsory labour and human trafficking. The purpose of the strategy is to raise awareness of human trafficking and slavery-like offences in Northern Ireland and to contribute to a reduction in the number of such offences. Just advise you that the Department has now developed a draft strategy for 2016-17 following engagement with the statutory partners on the Organised Crime Task Force's Immigration and Human Trafficking Subgroup and civil society partners on the Department of Justice Human Trafficking Engagement Group. The draft strategy, which builds on progress under the 2015-16 strategy and the Human Trafficking Action Plans for 2013-14 and 2014-15, has an overarching aim of equipping Northern Ireland to eradicate human trafficking and modern slavery whilst protecting and supporting victims, which is underpinned by 4 strategic priorities supported by a number of key objectives and actions. So, members, subject to the views of this committee, the Department intends to undertake a 10-week public consultation on the draft strategy. So, members, are you content to note the draft human trafficking and modern slavery strategy for 2016-17 and consider it further when the results of the consultation are available? Or do you wish to submit any comments at this stage or any other notation? Happy to note until we get the consultation responses back. Okay.
Can we get a copy of the progress report then? Is that what we're asking for?
Yes, that's next on the list here. So, yes, the committee happy to then get the progress report against 2015-16 strategy.
Excuse me, Pam.
Which is currently being prepared by the department.
I may have missed a point of detail here, but in relation to the close date for the consultation, the remarks indicate that it would be confirmed after Justice Committee consideration. So, what is the process for taking this forward?
The process at the minute, the department's given us a draft strategy that they want to go out to consult on, and subject to any views of this committee.
Yeah.
If the committee is content for them to go out to consult, they will then launch the consultation.
Yeah.
So it'll be a 10-week consultation from a date in the next few weeks, once they're waiting for this committee to come back and say they're happy for it to go out to consult. So it'll be 10 weeks from probably a couple of weeks' time when they get it launched.
Would that be the indicative date then, Claire, 2 weeks from now?
Well, I would need to check with the department when they'll actually launch it, but they've got it ready to go. They're waiting for us to come back on it. Normally it doesn't take them that long then to get it out there for public consultation. And then once the consultation's closed, they'll come back to the committee with the results of the consultation and any proposed changes to the draft before they finalise it. I mean, I can check, and we can check on the exact date they're going to put it out for consultation if you want.
In circumstances where it went out for consultation, say, first 2 weeks of July, then we could expect the consultation period would expire mid-September, end of September.
Yeah, I suspect that's maybe why they're allowing 10 weeks, because it's over the summer period. They usually do allow a slightly longer if it covers the summer period. But we can check and let the committee know what date they intend to launch the consultation if you want.
That'll be great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, members, we're getting through this rightly. On to agenda item 9, which is correspondence. There are 3 items of correspondence at pages 247 to 262 of your pack. Just draw your attention to one of the items, and then we'll have an opportunity to comment on any further items of correspondence on which you have a particular interest. Item 3 at pages 261 and 262. Members, a request has been received from BITES, which is a voluntary youth work charity, to brief the committee on its work. BITES uses creative ICT to engage with young offenders and young people at risk of offending to support their personal development and citizenship, and to enable progress into education, training and employment. So I'm seeking agreement from the members for an informal meeting which the Chair and Deputy Chair would be invited to meet with these, but it will also be open to all other committee members who are interested in attending that. And that's obviously something we've agreed at an earlier meeting of this committee. So if you're happy enough that to give agreement that we go ahead with that informal meeting. Thank you. Members, are you content to action the other items of correspondence as set out on the cover sheet?
Yep.
Okay. Very much. Item 10 is Chair's business, and there's currently no items of Chair's business. So on to item 11 is any other business.
Chair, I just thank the committee for I was going to say sympathy card, but whatever it was. I took it as sympathy anyway.
It was sympathy.
And secondly, in terms of our work programme, maybe Christine would remind us, we talked about going out to have a meeting in probation board at some stage. Did that ever happen?
That's right. The committee agreed to consider it as part of the strategic planning meeting. With a number, I think the department have highlighted a number of places where the committee might wish to visit. So we've got a list of them for the committee to consider at the strategic planning day. See what way you want to take it forward.
And when are we having that?
There's an informal initial discussion on possible strategic priorities just before next week's meeting on the 30th of June at 12:30 to just let members have initial discussion on what they might see as some strategic priorities, and then the main strategic planning meeting will be at the beginning of September to set the programme for the next session.
Okay. Very good, thank you. So that's us then. Item 12, date, time and place of next meeting. So the next committee meeting will take place on Tuesday, the 30th of June. Is that right, Tuesday? That should be
No,
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay, we're back to Thursday. Okay, and it is the 30th, isn't it? Yeah.
It's 30th, yeah.
Thursday, 30th of June, members at 2 p.m. in room 30. And as has already been mentioned, there'll be an initial informal strategic planning meeting to take place prior to that meeting at 12:30, and that'll be in the private dining room. Okay, thank you, members.
Assembly Committee Room 30.